Hey guys, HDV here, and welcome back to another Pokemon Sun and Moon discussion video. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at who is the best new Steel-type Pokemon in Sun and Moon across all of the new Pokemon released. I've done a couple other videos in this series showcasing other types such as Fire, Water and Grass and many others, so if you are enjoying this series then I do recommend you check those videos out, I would really appreciate it. But anyway, today like I said we are looking at the Steel-type Pokemon. I won't be going over any legendaries or ultra beasts that may have a steel typing because they are just stronger in general. I also won't be going over any old Pokemon that have the steel typing that appear in Alolan either, such as Metagross, because we're only concentrating on the new Pokemon. That being said though, I will be going over the stats, whether they have a dual typing, the abilities, the move pool, what they're strong and weak against, just to try and create a better idea of who is the best new steel type in Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon. So with introductions out of the way, let's get into the video and I really hope that you enjoy. Okay, so first up we have Alolan Dugtrio, who is by far the most glamorous Pokemon in all of the land. I mean, just look at those locks. Their haircuts are on point, and these guys just know how to rock the party. But anyway, Alolan Dugtrio is a dual typing of Ground and Steel. Obviously, being a Steel type, all of the Pokemon in this video will have relatively quite a few resistances, just because Steel is a very good typing in the competitive scene. It does resist a lot of typings, and so it does really help out on the defensive side of things. But anyway, like I said, being Ground and Steel, this Pokemon is only weak to Fire, Water, Fighting and Ground, so 4 weaknesses there. However, because of the good old Steel type, it is resistant to Normal, it's immune to Electric thanks to Ground typing, it's immune to Poison thanks to Steel typing. It also resists Flying, Psychic, Bug, resists Rock 4 times, also resists Dragon, Steel and Fairy, so a lot of resistances there, which are actually super helpful when you look at this Pokemon stat total. But anyway, first, the abilities that this Pokemon get are Sandveil, Tangling Hair, and Sandforce. Sandveil obviously raises the ability's Barrier Evasion by 20% as a Sandstorm, so that would be quite nice on a Sand team. The next ability is Tangling Hair, which is unique to Alolan Dugtrio and Alolan Diglett, and basically when a Pokemon makes contact with Alolan Dugtrio, it lowers the attacker's speed stat by 1 stage, so that's kind of useful. And the last ability this Pokemon gets, which is its hidden ability, is Sandforce, which raises the power of Ground, Rock and Steel type moves by 30% during a Sandstorm. That's super helpful because obviously this Pokemon is a dual typing of Ground and Steel, so both of this Pokemon's typings moves do get boosted in the Sandstorm, and they are both going to be Stab. So this Pokemon could actually be quite lethal on a Sand team. Looking at the stat total, it is only 425, but obviously Dugtrio isn't the most bulky Pokemon in the world. It does only have a HP stat of 35, 100 physical attack, 60 physical defense, 50 special attack, 70 special defense and 110 speed, so it is a very fast attacking, physically attacking Pokemon, so that is obviously going to help out with Sandforce if you run Sandforce. I could see, Tangling here is quite a nice ability with the fact that it does lower the other opponent's speed stat by 1 stage when they do make contact with you. Sandforce could be really beneficial for this Pokemon on a Sand team, just because obviously, like I already mentioned, it does have already a high attack and speed stat, so it's already pretty fast and hits hard on the physical side of things. Plus the 30% boost thanks to Sandforce, plus the stab. It's this Pokemon is going to be hitting relatively hard, so don't be giving it a hard time because it's got something in its locker. Anyway, it does evolve from Alolan Diglett at level 26 in Alola, which is the same as the usual Diglett and Dugtrio. Looking at this Pokemon's moves through level up, it gets an alright, it gets a nice variety. It gets things like Night Slash, gets Rototiller, gets Tri-Attack, which is kind of nice, although that is a special attacking move and this Pokemon special attack is kind of poor, so you're only going to be looking at the physical type moves. It does get Metal Claw, gets Magnitude, Bulldoze, gets Sucker Punch for that nice priority, gets Dig, Iron Head, Earthquake and Fissure. Earthquake and Iron Head, obviously this Pokemon's best to stab attacking moves, thanks to just because of the power that they have, and they're both are physical attacking moves. It gets Sand Tomb when it evolves from Alolan Diglett. The egg moves that this Pokemon get are also kind of nice. Gets Ancient Power, Faint Attack, gets Final Gambit, although that is special. Gets Headbutt, gets Memento, that could be used quite nicely in the competitive scene. Gets Pursuit as well, if you want to Pursuit Trap something. Also gets Reversal and Thrash, so really cool moves there. The TMs that this Pokemon learns are, they're alright. I mean, there are a lot of special ones, but you got a couple of physical ones in there as well, such as Earthquake, which if you accidentally don't learn when you get it through level up, it's always nice to have the TM there. It does get Sludge Wave and Sludge Bomb, but like I said, they are both specially attacking moves, so not the best thing. Does get access to Sandstorm, so that could be nice if you are running Sandforce, but obviously it would be nice to just have a Pokemon such as Tyranitar that can set up the sand automatically. it also does get Shadow Claw, gets Giga Impact, gets Stone Edge, gets Bulldoze, gets Rock Slide, and then Flash Cannon, which obviously is special. So Alolan Dugtrio is a pretty good Pokemon. It's just its stat total is pretty poor with only 425. It's got alright special defense at 70, but a physical defense stat of 60 and a 35 in HP. Doesn't mean this Pokemon's going to be staying around much longer, so you kind of just want to come in with this Pokemon, get a good hit in, and then probably get it out of there. But yeah, Alolan Dugtrio, I mean, it's fancy, you know what I mean? It's fancy, it's looking nice. It's got the style on lock. But that is Alolan Dugtrio. Next we have Togedemaru or Togedemaru. I don't know how you pronounce it. I think it's a hard G, so it's Togedemaru. But this Pokemon is a dual typing of Electric and Steel with the abilities Iron Barbs, Lightning Rod, and Sturdy. Iron Barbs is really nice because obviously when it's hit by when Iron Barbs is hit by a move that makes contact, the attacker receives damage equal to 1/8 of their maximum HP, so that's always really clutch to have. Also gets Lightning Rod, which is basically when an electric attack is moved, you basically you suck it in, you take it off yourself. So that does kind of act as an electric immunity, which is always really cool to have on a team. Also gets Sturdy as a hidden ability, which prevents a move that would usually knock you out and leaves you on 1 HP, so that's really cool to have as well. Being Electric and Steel is it's an amazing typing, really, because it is only weak to firefighting. It is 4 times weak to ground, but Togedemaru is bringing he's bringing the resistances to the table. He resists normal, he resists electric, he resists grass, he resists ice, he's immune to poison, he 4 times resists flying, he's resistant to psychic, resistant to bug, resistant to rock, resistant to dragon, 4 times resists steel, and is also resistant to fairy. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 resistances or immunities with only 3 weaknesses. So Togedemaru is definitely, he's got the defense through that, so that's really cool. He does only have a stat total of 435, but with 65 HP, 98 physical attack, 63 physical defense, 40 special attack, 73 special defense, and 96 speed. So it is actually a relatively fast physically attacking Pokemon. So I mean, Togedemaru is kind of like the Pikachu clone for this generation. Obviously, like your Minons and your Plusles, and stuff like that. But this is the Pokemon for Sun and Moon of the Pikachu lookalike. But hey, he's not actually that bad. He's really good. He can take a hit, people. You know what I mean? Especially with the abilities as well. Iron Barbs is nice to have if you run like a bulky set, and obviously Lightning Rod as well if you want to, act as an immunity to electric type attacks. But anyway, looking at the moves that this Pokemon learns through level up, it gets things like Rollout, gets Spark, it gets Nuzzle. I'm a big fan of Nuzzle because of the fact that it's always going to paralyze, and it is obviously a physically attacking move, which is Togedemaru's most beneficial stat. It also gets Magnetize as well, so if you can pull one of them off, it's his 4 times ground weakness is gone like that, you know what I mean? So that's really cool. So then it'd only be weak to fire and fighting. So Togedemaru, if you can pull that off, is very, very good. Also gets some really, really cool moves as well. Gets Zing Zap, which is a really, really cool move. It's basically a strong electric blast. Crashes down on the target, giving it an electric shock. This may also make the target flinch, and that's an 80 base power electric type move, so obviously that's going to be getting stabbed. Also learns electric terrain. Also gets Spiky Shield as well. We all like Spiky Shield, prevents any attacks targeted at the user from striking on that turn. If a move that makes contact is targeted at the user on that turn, the attacker receives damage. So Togedemaru is kind of one of those Pokemon that's just inflicting damage when you attack it. So if you can set up a Spiky Shield, obviously Zing Zap hurts as well. Also gets Fell Stinger as well, which is another fake physical attacking move. Through egg moves, also gets some really nice egg moves as well. Gets Fake Out, which is really cool. Gets Reversal, gets Twin Needle, gets Wish. That's cool to have on a bulky Pokemon if you do run a bulky set on Togedemaru. The moves that this Pokemon learns through TM, it gets Thunderbolt and Thunder. Obviously, I mean, its special attack stat is only 40, so you're not really going to be looking at any special attacking moves on this Pokemon. But that being said, it does get things like Payback. It does get Volt Switch. I know it's a special attacking move, but it's Switch Initiative. Always nice to have. Can always pull it off really nicely. It does get T-Wave for that crippling of Pokemon. Gets Poison Jab, gets Gyro Ball, gets U-Turn. So I probably would run U-Turn over Volt Switch. I mean, I know you get stab from Volt Switch, but Togedemaru's attack is much higher than his special attack, so I think you'll be doing more damage from U-Turn even without the stab. Also, it does get Wild Charge as well, which is a very nice physically attacking electric type move. You're going to get stabbed through that. That's really cool to have. And I'm a big fan of Togedemaru, you know what I mean? It looks cool, it looks cute, it can hit hard, it resists a lot of things. It's got an amazing typing, it's got amazing abilities, so do not write this Pokemon off. If you come up against him, don't be like, oh, it's a little cute mouse Pokemon. No, Togedemaru He's an absolute beast, people. Let me just get that through your head. Anyway, last but not least, because there are only 3 new Steel-type Pokemon in Sun and Moon that aren't legendaries or Ultra Beasts, so not as many Steel-type Pokemon in this generation. But anyway, Alolan Sandslash is a dual typing of Ice and Steel with the abilities Snow Cloak and Slush Rush. Snow Cloak raises the ability Bearer's evasion by 20% in a Hailstorm, dodging those attacks left, right, and center. And the hidden ability that this Pokemon gets is Slush Rush, which basically boosts the Pokemon speed stat in a Hailstorm. So that can be quite nice if you're running on a Hail team. But because of its obviously dual typing of Ice and Steel, it is 4 times weak to fire and 4 times weak to fighting. So that's not the best. It also is 2 times weak to ground. However, because of the Steel typing, it does save the day a little bit, being resistant to normal, grass, 4 times resist ice, immune to poison, resist flying, psychic, bug, dragon, and fury. The stat total of this Pokemon is 450 with 75 HP, 100 physical attack, 120 physical defense, 25 special attack, so no special type moves on this Pokemon, please. 65 special defense and 65 speed. So quite a nice physically attacking Pokemon, with the bulk on the physical side of things as well. I mean, it does look like it can take a hit. Look at the ice on the back of its head. Like it looks really cool. I really love the design of this Pokemon. I love the colors. It looks really, really cool. I also really love the shiny form of this Pokemon. But it does evolve through Sandshrew using an Ice Stone. Because of it obviously evolving through a stone, it's not going to learn many moves through level up, because Pokemon through evolutionary stones don't usually, but it does get quite a nice handful of moves anyway through level up, when it evolves anyway. It gets Ice Ball, Icicle Crash, Icicle Spear, Metal Burst, Metal Claw, Slash, and Defense Curl. But obviously Icicle Spear for the priority, that stab. It gets Icicle Crash, which is hard with its very nice attacking move. It gets Ice Ball if you can somehow pull that off, Metal Claw as well. Also, through evolution, it will just learn Icicle Spear anyway, so you're always going to be guaranteed to get Icicle Spear, which is a nice priority move. Looking at egg moves that this Pokemon gets, it gets some alright ones. It gets Chip Away, gets Counter if you can pull that off, gets Crush Claw, which is a nice attacking move, gets Icicle Crash, Icicle Spear, Metal Claw, and Night Slash through egg moves as well. Night Slash has obviously some more variety. The good thing is, though, the TMs save this Pokemon, because obviously it doesn't have the best move pool on its own, but looking through TMs, it gets some really cool ones. It gets Earthquake, Return, Leech Life for really cool recovery. Leech Life is a really good move in this generation, because it hits hard on the physical side of things, and it also gets you some health back as well. Also gives you gets access to Brick Break, Shadow Claw, Gyro Ball, Swords Dance, Bulldoze, X Scissor, Poison Jab, Rock Slide. So the TMs on this Pokemon, you've got a bit of variety there, which kind of save Alolan and Sandslash. And like I said, I'm a pretty good fan of this Pokemon. It's just the 4 times weak to fire and fighting isn't the best, because they are both quite common types in the competitive scene. And especially if you're getting like out prioritized by like by Mach Punch or Vacuum Wave or something like that, and then obviously Flamethrower is never going to be a nice day at the office. But that is all of the Steel Pokemon in Sun and Moon. Like I said, not many in this generation, barring Legendaries and Ultra Beasts. So personally, who I think is the best, it's actually quite a hard decision, because there's no standout choice for me, because they all have pretty big weaknesses. Like Alolan Dugtrio, very weak, fragile. It gets hit and it's going to be taking some hefty damage. Taki Damaru, I'm a big fan of. It's not got the highest physical defense of only 63, but it has some amazing abilities, has so many resistances, and also gets like its unique move, and it also gets just a really cool move pool as well. Alolan Sandslash, 4 times weak to fire and fighting, although it does have a nice stat total of 450 with a nice physical attack and defense stat of 100 and 120. For me though, I'm going to go with Togedemaru. I don't know if that's going to surprise many people. I think it is a very good Pokemon. I think it's very underrated, and I think it can take many hits, and obviously the immunity to poison is very nice, and it is only 4 times weak to ground, but obviously if you set up a Magnet Rise, then you're fine with that. I know Alolan Dugtrio isn't 4 times weak to anything, and it does have 2 immunities, but it's so weak in the defenses that it can't really take a hit. But that is that is my choice. So Togedemaru. If you do disagree with me, which I'm sure a lot of you will, then please leave your suggestion in the comment section below. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. But that wraps up this video. So if you did enjoy, please smash that like button below. I really do appreciate it. Remember to subscribe if you're enjoying the content, if you're enjoying the series on the channel. I do have a couple other of these type discussion videos coming onto your screen in a second. Be sure to check them out if you have the time. That is everything from me, guys, so thanks again for watching. Have a glorious day, and peace.